guys, what's up? This is the Musicmandir Podcast. Welcome to yet another episode. I've got Shravani with me and I've got Jatan with me, and we got a whole bunch of new music lined up for you guys and whatever's happening in the indie scene and everything else around the indie scene. So, what's up, guys? What's up, Shravani? What have you been listening to?
This week has been a pretty dreamy week for me.
All right.
So, a lot of like literally and musically. So I've been dreaming a lot about stuff, and that's why I think this week I've been attracted to a lot of dreamy kind of music. So, the first one that I want to mention, one artist who literally fits this dreamy dreamscape of mine, is Anushka Maski, if I'm pronouncing it right.
Anushka
And
Maski. Yeah.
if you're listening to this, please correct us and come on our podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so her music, I mean, she's pretty new like she's released her first EP just in the middle of the lockdown, and it's called Things I Saw in a Dream, and it's literally about her dreams and stuff that she sees there, and it's like very melodious. I think it's a lyrics first approach to her music is like that, and she's created the whole thing in her house, in her room, from sound to music to recording everything just at
That's
home in the middle of the
amazing.
lockdown.
Yeah. I think
And it is
that's
amazing.
You
Yeah.
mean, you mean even the instrumentation is created in her own room?
Everything. Yes. So it's pretty clean instrumentation. It's very acoustic. So I think it's just her guitar and a ukulele in some songs, I think. And her voice just kills it. Like, it's very dreamy, and you just like transported to her dream, I guess, that she's describing in the songs. And it's pretty cool. Like, everybody should check it out. If you want to escape this pandemic and go into a dreamscape,
so
the
Anushka Masti.
Maski.
How do you spell it? How do you
Okay,
spell
sorry.
it?
Maski.
How do you spell it?
Maskey.
And
Okay,
Anushka?
can we pull it up like on Instagram or something?
Oh yeah, I found her. Yeah, I found her.
Anushka.
Anushka Maski.
I will. Yeah.
Okay,
we
Yes.
will
that's
jump
cool.
to
We're gonna probably
Anushka Maski. That's her.
listen.
Link it below. That's
Yeah,
her.
that's
Yes.
her.
Okay, awesome.
And you might see her EP, Things I Saw in a Dream, and it just got out. So it's pretty beautiful. It's just
I think it's super
amazing.
new also. So I think we're definitely
Super
gonna
new,
give it
super
a
new.
listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
Her voice, her vocals are beautiful. Very
Brilliant.
dreamy.
How did you
brilliant.
find her? How did you find her?
Oh, so actually, I was like, another artist that I discovered this week took me to her profile, and then I listened to her. So I was actually looking at Raghav Miettel's music
Of
a
course.
lot this week.
I've heard of him. Yeah.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Even he's kind of dreamy and like that, like flowy
What is-
and
what
That's
is
actually
that?
a pretty
Okay.
good way of describing
like
it.
wavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's how you feel. So, so that's how I was feeling, and then I was like looking at his. I was listening to his songs, and I mean, I think they know each other or something. But so I found her, and their approach is pretty similar to music, both of them. But like Anushka's music, like just it's very fresh, and I think in this time it just like helps us to like escape it.
Is there any?
That's,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
pretty
Is there any
cool.
particular song you'd want to recommend?
Yes. There's one called Flesh and Bone,
Okay.
which is part of her EP, and I think that the most I like that the most is because it talks about connection, and how we're missing it in this current situation,
Oh fuck yeah.
like
Yeah, for
connection
sure.
with people, physical connection, and it's just something that we can't live without. Like, how much will you talk virtually, man? Like, it's just not the same.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
So
yeah.
that song really related to me. Like, yeah, so you guys should check it out. It's beautiful. All of her
Flesh and
songs
Bone,
are
Super
beautiful. This one
interesting.
Flesh and
like
Bone.
stands out.
Flesh and Bone, right?
Flesh and Bone, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna link the
gonna
song
write it
in the description.
Yeah, we link it
Yes.
and if any of the artists mentioned want to join us on the podcast, like
We
our
would love
We
to
would love
have
to
you.
have you.
yeah, our Zoom link is like literally open. Like
हमारे
so
दरवाजे खुले हैं. हमारे
yeah, so
virtual दरवाजे खुले हैं. Yeah.
so
Oh my
feel free to
God.
like to tag us and say hello. So I recently came across this artist called Shashwat Bulusu, uh, who happens to be like a regular like musician. Again, following the same pattern that Shravani discussed, is like, does all the recording in his bedroom. I think there's like this whole generation of musicians coming
Yeah.
up now that have found access to making music in their bedroom much more fulfilling, and it's
A
also
lot of them
changing.
have realized that it's possible also to make that much
Yeah,
quality
and
at
it's also
home
software and tools that have now become like
accessible.
accessible, right? Like before, you'd have to rent a studio. I remember the jam room days where people would like book these rooms with amps and guitars. I mean, they're still there, and it's still a lot of fun, but you're able to do so much like virtually, with software and stuff. So Sashwat Bulusu has a song called Sunset by, oh god, I'm sorry, Sunset by the Wemband. I don't know if
What?
that's a place. I think so. We'll just link it in the description so like people can follow it. But Sashwat Bulusu is the artist, uh, and so they put out an official music video just recently, and it's like beautifully shot. So Sashwat Bulusu is one of like the many other artists that are signed to Delhi-based record label called Pagal Hai Na, which represents your Pratik Kuhad and Peter Cat Recording Co. and all these
Oh, wow.
guys. So it's the same guys, and again like the artistic direction and like the general uh, kind of overview of the music video is amazing.
What is the song about?
So I don't know what the song is about and stuff, but it's just a nice song, right? And it's got a killer music video.
What?
Uh,
How do you feel? How do you feel listening to it?
it feels good. It's got like that whole carefree vibe to it. So the music video has like a guy skateboarding on like these empty streets, like in some hilly area, and so it's got that vibe of, I what's the vibe? It's like
Freedom.
carefree and
Yeah.
freedom, yeah. And it also portrays like this skateboarding culture, a small culture that resides in India. Skateboarding is definitely not something people are used to seeing in India. I mean, you can forget about it with the roads or whatever, but I think skateboarding is also is like a culture that represents a lot of things, not only in the West but even here. It's just a nice video. It represents like some kind of
Beautiful.
emotion.
Have you guys seen that
Yeah,
movie? I just want to just quickly take like a very, very small detour. Have you seen this movie called Lords of Dogtown?
dude, that was like my favorite movie ever.
Yeah, right. Like, and it had like
Dude,
the most insane music, and it's all about skateboarding and surfing.
yeah. And it's got that I mean, these guys, right? Like the Into the Wild guy.
Yeah, yeah, Emil
he
Hirsch
he yeah, Imal
Uh,
Hirsch
and
and
and Heath
and
Ledger.
he and Heath
One of
Ledger,
one of
exactly.
Heath
Yeah,
Ledger's greatest roles of all time, I think,
yeah.
is Lords of Dogtown, and
Lords of Dogtown was a brilliant movie.
what a movie, and some
Absolutely
some
loved it.
insanely cool rock soundtracks, especially for me, Deep Purple being my favorite rock band. uh,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
they included so much of Deep Purple in that. Anyway,
yeah,
I will just jump on to what I have been listening to. I've been
yeah,
listening to a lot of stuff, and obviously not as much as you guys, but been trying to I try to see what's going across the border. And one of my favorite singers, who I think genuinely think probably one of the best vocalists in the subcontinent. When I say subcontinent, is India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan. For me, is a guy named Ali Noor. A lot of the people who are listening to this would probably obviously know about him because he is the lead vocalist of a band called Noori, and
okay,
he's sung great songs like Sari Raat, and like like and Ore, and like pretty much everything on Coke Studio, like his Hor Hor. Ore Vini. Yeah. So stuff like that. However, he's come up with like a very solo. He's like a solo project. Something short in the quarantine. Something very uncharacteristic of what he is. A song called Banjo, and is literally
Okay.
like a wordplay on banjo, and that's what they're trying to do.
Dude,
Uh,
is that just you representing
I would
it,
never have
or
thought
is
of that. Is it?
yeah,
yeah, like he's
Is
literally
that
singing
real?
banjo gana baja. So I don't think it stands for anything else. Uh,
yeah,
However, he's
Um,
mostly like Noori. Literally was is like a three-piece band where Ali Noor sings with his brother Ali Hamza, who's the bassist
okay,
of the band, and then there used to be like this crazy drummer, one of the Pakistani greats of all time, called Gumby. And but in
okay,
this, like, there is no Gumby, and then there is no Ali Hamza. They've just so he's just
right,
like playing himself mostly, and what he himself is, it's almost like seeing a transition from a Kurt Cobain to a John Mayer, sort of a thing. It's like a really like a hardcore rock guy with like an insane voice now,
yeah,
transitioning into like, hey, everything is nice and everything is awesome sort of a guy. And like the vocal chops are still there, right? Like, and for me, that's like I hold him in reverence for the things he can do with his voice. But
right,
this is just like one of the lightest songs you would hear. So if you're sort of looking to just lighten up your mood over the weekend and watch like a
yeah,
happy-go-lucky
yeah,
video, check out
yeah.
Ali Noor's Banjo. So
So
yeah, that's
we'll link it in the description.
we absolutely will. Yes.
So that's like an interesting mix
Uh,
of music, I
yeah,
think,
that's a
that
very,
that
very
we've
interesting.
discussed. So I think that's like the premise of this podcast, where we just like discuss music, and then
Yeah,
hopefully
people
people
discover it.
like, yeah, people move on their own paths of music discovery.
Yeah,
I've always
absolutely.
been fascinated by music discovery. Is because so many people discover
yeah.
music so differently, and then there's so many people who just, like, because they haven't been able to discover good music, they've just completely given up on like the effort or the process of music discovery, right? Like you
Absolutely.
just,
That happens a lot, guy. That happened to me a lot before.
yeah, yeah. And then like the people who have tasted like that music discovery awesomeness, like they're just like, they're obsessed with it, and then they're just like, okay, yeah,
Can't
yeah, yeah,
stop.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can't stop, yeah.
So
So
I absolutely know, Jatin, that I know your favorite band is Red Hot Chili Peppers, right?
yeah,
And Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers, the great Flea. I remember him
yeah,
once going on a late night show. Was it Jay Leno, or was it Conan O'Brien or somebody else? And one of the things that Flea says on the show is, "Hey kids, stop discovering your music through MTV." That's literally what he said.
yeah,
Stop listening to
yeah,
what MTV gives you. Go figure
yeah,
out what you like. And
yeah.
there was around the time internet was just starting to come up, and I think these guys
That
realized
was
that.
when people had only MTV, right?
Yeah.
There was
Yes,
there was nothing
absolutely.
other than MTV.
So yeah, so what he was implying was like, go to the local gigs and go to the local record stores and pick up anything at random. But
Yeah,
now there is sort of really opened up, and the moment you sort of go beyond like the big names of the world, right? Like, you sort of realize that there's this crazy sea of brilliant creators, right? Like, and I'm discovering a lot of great music through this is like Bandcamp, which are
yeah,
not traditionally streaming softwares. Like, they're not
yeah,
streaming, but they
Exploration. Yeah.
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 But Bandcamp has got some crazy tagging going on, and like the kind of stuff you end up discovering through that is just mad. And this
So
Bandcamp, and yeah,
so I think it's also communities, like community supporting community. I think that goes like a long way. Like,
Yeah.
so even the simple thing of like artists supporting other artists, like how Shravani discovered uh, the other artists through like an existing artist, right?
Anushka,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that, yeah, that goes a long way.
Yeah.
In fact, I think few days back I saw like an Instagram, I don't know, like a challenge of sorts, where uh, like our independent artists were uh, like paying tribute to other independent artists by covering their music, which was really cool. So like if Shravani
Yeah.
made like a song, or she sang on a song, and if I was a guitarist, then I would, like do a version of her song and then post it on Instagram. So by doing that, like you're enabling
You
your
reach a lot of your
followers.
audience, yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
enabling your followers to be like, oh, this tune's nice, but the original is by someone else. So like, let me give that a listen. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think that's the
I want somebody to cover Mali's Mango Showers, man. That is the best thing to have
yeah
come out of anywhere, and
yeah.
it's so underrated as a song. It's got hardly any views for the kind of song that it is.
So Mali
And
also came out with a new track very recently, right? I think it's
yeah,
called
yeah,
Absolute. Yeah, yeah. I think she's putting out like great music.
yeah.
Uh, yeah,
I,
definitely
I I
check out
remember I
Malvika
remember
Manoj.
Malvika Manoj, yeah, of course. Like
Yeah.
I remember one of the in the earlier days, because you said scene supporting scene, right?
Hmm.
Like we were at a gig, and I somebody happened to mention, I don't know who it was in the background. I was in a band myself, and I said, should we cover Pentagram? And somebody says, हम लोग इंडिया का आर्टिस्ट कवर नहीं करता है, ठीक है? So, and from that the scene is like, yeah, from that
Oh,
point the scene has sort of evolved into like, let's support your own artists, like your
Yeah.
local artists. I think it's very healthy.
I think the scene is like evolved big time, like from what it was, say, like 10 years back or like 5 years back. It's insane.
What is happening in the
But
background? Something crazy.
I don't know. There was some. I think it was the Zoom engineers. But
what?
but I before I forget, I wanted to mention I came across this article about this Dalit rapper from Orissa. His name is called Dule. So he apparently has gone viral on YouTube by just putting out music. Like he's from a very poor background, obviously, and just basically just came out and said, "Yo, like my true calling is rap music, and I'm gonna rap about all the hardships that poor people and the Dalit community faces." And that was insane, actually. Like I just saw like a few videos. Like he's on YouTube, and uh, so it's like his house is really
What's his name
small.
again?
It's Dule. I think that's what the article said. So he's from the Dalit community and has basically just come out and say that rap is like my true calling. And he has been approached by Bollywood or something like that, and he claims like he has no interest in Bollywood. Like he like just comes out and says that I like
Anti Bollywood.
I'm refusing Bollywood. Like that's what like the title, like the clickbait is.
Wow.
But it's so refreshing, like to just see people
Oh yeah,
do their thing.
I found him actually. Let me just project his Instagram for people to
Yeah.
discover.
Oh, he's on Instagram also.
Yeah, yeah, he is. He's got a pretty cool name though.
Of course he is.
Rapper Dule
Oh
Rocker.
yeah, that's him, Dule Rocker.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
look at that, man.
Oh.
lovely.
Yeah, and he's like, I, I think, yeah, I
Serve
think he
to
raps
all.
in English. He raps in Hindi.
Is it Telugu?
No.
What is it?
He's from
Okay.
Orissa, but I
Okay.
I heard a rap which was like in Hindi,
Yeah,
and
and
I think it
it's
was.
BBC Telugu. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yep. There's another guy,
But
right? Like just like him, who's probably been like inspiration to a lot of what you would call the Bahujan rappers in general. So singing
hmm,
about caste oppression in India, and that has opened up his profile also for the ones who have not heard of him. A majority of people have obviously heard of him. Is Sumit Samos, and
okay,
again, like that literally his name says anti-caste rapper,
Yeah.
yeah,
and I mean, this dude again, like, he's got some really, really well produced songs and pretty angry lyrics, like really,
yeah,
really
Mm.
angry and talking about the oppression that obviously he and millions of others from the community have come up to endure. So
Yes.
yeah, I mean, and that's really sort of that is a very, very strong narrative to rap about, and only these guys can rap about it, right? Like
yeah,
nobody else
for
can
sure. If
understand it.
like even if you think about like the origination of of blues or R&B music, like in the 1920s and 30s. Like, there were these guys that were literally singing about like slavery and oppression and no food, no money. Uh, that's why they say blues music is, has like it in a very true sense is like sad music, right? It's about a lot of emotion, and it was mostly, that's why it was also started by mostly these, these black artists, like back in the day, uh, who started blues music. I mean, if you ask me, blues music became uh, whatever mainstream only, I mean, 50, 60 years back, 70 years back, uh, by, of course, now by like the Rolling Stones and Eric Clapton and people like that. But I mean, they all paid their respects to,
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. I mean,
it goes back. So I mean, music has like a very powerful narrative, right? Like if people can channelize that energy, if people can channelize their voice, I think it goes like a long way. And it's awesome to see like people from the Dalit community like singing about their issues. I mean, we all know the kind of state that they are in.
treatment that's meted out to them. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and the kind of lives that they live. So maybe music's the only way they can
Two
express
other
these
bigger
things.
things. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But
absolutely,
I
man.
I I I came across that like on BBC, and it was it was very cool to take notice and uh, to read more about him and to figure out what that story is. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. What else are we listening to? Is there anything new
Yeah, so
apart from
I
yeah?
there's another artist called Shantanu, who's like a DJ producer. Uh, I don't know from which city. Maybe I may be wrong, but he has a moniker called Saya. It's like the K is silent and Saya. They he put out like a new song recently. It's very interesting. It had like Indian traditional vocals and electronica beats and kind of a fusion. Very interesting stuff. So I think people should check out Saya,
Saya music,
Ksaya.
right?
Saya Music, yeah. And
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
Music Mandir, we featured him sometime back, and wrote about his music, and he even puts out music under another moniker. But he's a young guy, and I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's interesting music, right? It's just
I want
uh,
to share this screen just for people to look at how cool the album art is. You know what I'm
oh
saying?
yeah, that's it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Oh, this
I
is
have seen
sick,
this
man. Yeah,
around. Oh.
this is
yeah,
pretty sick.
yeah. So I think it just got released, I think, a few days back. So and we also have him on the Music Mandir playlist if people are interested. So you can listen to him there, but you can also follow him. That's his account. Yeah, K Saya Music. Check it out.
Check it out, guys. I mean, check it out for the sick artwork. I am
Yeah.
giving him a follow right away. Yeah, yeah.
So it's yeah. So that was something else that I've been like listening to. It's pretty cool. What happened to Shravani?
Shravani, I don't know. I think she just went to check out his music. She just left the screen. uh, okay, so not necessarily Indian indie, but one of my favorite of all time is a dude called Damu the Fudge Monk, and uh,
Okay.
and he has just come out with his new album called Ocean Bridges. And
Okay.
okay, and I'm gonna link the album to the
For sure.
to the description. But
Where's he
Damodar
from
Fudge,
though?
he's from Washington D.C.
Okay.
However,
Yeah.
he is not one of those. He's not big on social media in general.
Right.
He's got like a very close community, and he's been making music since the early 2000s. But still
So
manages.
is he a rapper? Is he a DJ? What kind of
He
music?
is okay. So his music, if you just want to put it in simpler terms, it
Yeah.
would be he's a DJ, right? He's like a producer. He's a producer rather.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
and he obviously collaborates with the rappers. So, but he is sort of known to be extremely authentic with the way he uses the sound. So, like if he needs like a particular drum sample, more often than not, he'll actually end up playing it himself. And he's
Okay.
one of those guys who's actually still working around with floppy disks in old Akai MPC players.
What?
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty freaking
That's
cool, man.
insane.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's insane.
You should check out.
So
You
an
should,
analog man in a digital world sort of
a
thing.
completely analog man in a digital world. Uh, and the interesting thing is the virtuosity that he brings in. I would actually link a couple of videos. What's
Hi
up,
Shravani,
Shravani?
welcome back.
I am back. I live in like some desert isolation. I don't know what.
You live in Pune,
But
yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I
think
mean, man.
I think that was a nice description of Pune. But
Thanks,
is it
guys.
is it raining there? Because it was
It
raining in
is.
Mumbai pretty hard yesterday.
It's raining like crazy actually past few days.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, we were just
You should
discussing.
listen to
Yeah.
some rain songs.
Oh, have you heard the Rain song, like Led Zeppelin?
By
No,
Led
I'm saying
Zeppelin.
we should. No, maybe I should.
Oh, Led
Yeah,
Zeppelin.
I
listen,
want to
listen.
listen
Oh,
to some
I don't
rain
want to
songs.
go off on a tangent, but I think was it George Harrison, or was it Paul McCartney? I think somebody, unless my memory betrays me, said something on the lines of these guys are only making they only make hard rock music sort of a thing. And so Zeppelin came up with the Rain song, which is 8 minute
Wow.
long ballad, which sounds nothing like other Led Zeppelin. Probably one of the most beautiful and underrated classic rock songs of all time. It's got symphony to back it up. It's got like Jimmy Page playing an acoustic guitar. It's got Robert
Yeah.
Plant pretty much whispering into your ear, and
It's almost perfect, dude.
yeah, it's a
It's
beautiful.
it's
It's called,
almost perfect. Yeah.
yeah, it's a big, and I think it was basically written just to sort of challenge the Beatles. Unless I'm very off, but I don't think I'm off about
Oh.
this. Yeah, it was very cool. Very
Akash
cool.
is skirting. Akash is skirting like the alt news kind of boundary,
Gossip.
where alt news will have to come in and be like, "Nay."
Okay, this didn't happen. This didn't happen. But yeah, I mean, just because you mentioned Rain, I think Rain
I have
song.
my recommendation for this week.
Oh yeah, it's a great song. And
Oh.
it's very easy to listen to. Unlike a lot of Zeppelin for non-rockers, right? Like, they're like, why is it so heavy? Why is like everything ding ding
Yeah.
ding? Rain song is
Yeah.
it just flows.
This is completely different.
Yeah,
But they have
absolutely.
so many other like awesome
Ballads.
acoustic songs.
Yeah. I mean, Led Zeppelin 3, the album by itself is more like a country blues influenced album. And it's got some great acoustic songs, which at least, like, there's a song called Brawn or Stomp, which is
Yeah, of course.
which is something Robert Plant wrote for his dog, Strider.
Yeah.
And there's obviously there's another beautiful song in the same album called Friends.
Right.
Again, a
Yeah.
great acoustic song. There's another great acoustic song in the same album. I think it's called That's the Way.
Dude, you know this list is like endless, right? Like if you're talking about Led Zeppelin and if you're talking about like great songs.
Led Zeppelin's. I'm talking about songs only from one album, which is Led Zeppelin 3, which just has like just great acoustic songs. Because the thing is, the first album by Zeppelin, I'm so sorry, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but the first album
Yeah.
was mostly covers. The second album was mostly hard rock, and the third
Yeah.
album became like a more mellowed down version of showing what Led Zeppelin could do in overall range. And then they came up with Led
And then-
Zeppelin 4. with
And then
Stairway
that
to
knocked
Happiness.
everything off the
Yeah.
off the park.
Led Zeppelin 4 just knocked everything off the park. I mean,
Yeah.
when the levee breaks and Misty Mountain Hop and obviously
Dude,
Stairway
but I still think like going to California is
Going to
is-
California.
as just like a special song.
Yeah, fuck. I'm not even gonna get into that. It's got so
Yeah, so I think like the Sunday is again wasted on listening to Led Zeppelin all day.
oh yeah, fuck man. Really. Jeez.
Is it wasted though?
Yeah, it's not wasted.
It's not wasted.
It's not wasted.
It's important, guys.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So yeah, I
So
mean we
what's-
might be running out
what
of
else?
time also today. We have
Oh, yeah, we're
gone
close
on for a
to-
while. Yeah, we have 30 minutes into it.
Yep.
Any other music recommendations you guys have? You want to just sort of belt them out that you've been listening to? Well, I
So
was just finishing off talking about Damu the Fudge Monk before
yeah.
you came. So
Yeah.
yeah, basically his new album is out. We're gonna link it. And the thing is, this time around, again, he's done something that he usually does. Him being a DJ playing live drums on an album, and then basically getting a rapper to rap over them. And this time around, he's got like a bunch of veteran jazz players to sort
Hmm.
of play over his albums. So, and I'm gonna link you guys to like a few of great performances by Damu the Fudge Monk. There's like this
Yeah,
mad performance where he's just scratching in Russia, and he goes on for like
yeah,
15 minutes. He's just scratching two discs, and there's like this crowd of people around him.
yeah.
Because you said skateboarding is, and it's almost like a skateboarding rink sort of place,
Oh, okay,
and he's just
okay.
standing in the middle and he's scratching, and people are just going nuts because
Yeah,
he's going nuts. So be sure to check that album out, and we're gonna put it in the description. And yeah, that's pretty much it from my end.
yeah, yes. Same here. I mean, he recommended quite a few actually this time.
Yeah.
We didn't go too much of the tangent. That's why, except
Yeah, we
me
didn't go
going off.
too much.
Yeah.
Every time he's like not going to tangent, but going and coming back.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
But the
So,
tangents are good. I think.
The tangents are needed.
Yeah.
So
so
yeah, so anyone listening out there, if you want us to listen to some music, do mention it in the comments. If if we pronounced your name incorrectly, please correct
Reach
us.
out to us
Reach
so we
out to
can
us,
talk to you.
and we're also followable on all platforms.
Follow Apple
We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
everywhere.
Uh, what else? Yeah,
definitely
and
on
check out the
YouTube.
playlist.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely on YouTube. And
Yes.
check out our playlist. We keep updating it
On
almost
Spotify.
weekly on Spotify. Yeah, and all of the artists mentioned here are part of that playlist, so easier for you to
Also here.
have a listen. And yeah, I think that's about it. What's the date today? Today's 30th of August.
30th of August. We are.
I like doing
Oh,
that. Reminds me of like those sci-fi films where they record themselves every day and they're like,
and then they go
today
like
is
this,
August
and then they go
1st.
like this. Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
then they
let's
go like
see what
today's
happens.
August 1st, like
I have
2050.
survived another day
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
of this pandemic inside the house.
Pandemic still
Let's
going
see
on.
what tomorrow looks like.
I do have a banger of an album where I'm sure we'll end up discussing next week. The Grammy winning artist Gregory Porter will be dropping an album soon.
Oh yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, I recently discovered Gregory Porter
Yeah.
because he played like the Sting. The Sting had some kind of, I don't know, a tribute concert for him where a bunch of artists came and performed like Police and Sting songs, and Gregory Porter like came, and then I didn't know who he was, and then he sang, man, and then I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
like
Check out his song
this
though.
guy's a big deal.
It's called Musical Genocide. That was the first song I heard by him, which won him the best new vocalist in the jazz category
Okay,
Grammy. The moment he sort of debuted. But he's got a new album coming out. We're gonna talk about that next time.
for sure.
All right.
Until then, stay
Other
safe.
See
than
you